Every serious gardener knows the heartbreak of dead soil. Dry, compacted, lifeless earth that refuses to support growth no matter how much compost or fertilizer you throw at it. It's the kind of soil that's lost its biological pulse, where even weeds struggle to survive. But here's the truth: the old farming manuals never told you. When your soil is biologically dead, adding more organic matter isn't enough. You need to reintroduce life itself. That's where an old Amish method comes in, a fermented soil activator that wakes the ground from dormancy and restores fertility in record time. This is not theory. It's a method passed quietly through generations of Amish farmers who have never relied on store-bought fertilizers, yet grow some of the most vigorous crops you'll ever see. The secret is controlled fermentation, not decomposition. When I first learned about this method from an Amish farmer in Pennsylvania, what struck me was how different it was from typical composting. While most of us pile materials and wait months for them to rot, the Amish accelerate the process through fermentation, using specific ratios of sugars, microbes, and organic waste to pre-digest nutrients before they ever hit the soil. This process doesn't destroy life like heat-based composting often does. Instead, it cultivates billions of beneficial bacteria and fungi that are still alive when applied to the field. The base of this mix is deceptively simple. It starts with 3 parts carbohydrate-rich material such as rice bran, wheat bran, or even ground cornmeal. To that, the Amish add 1 part protein material, fresh manure, fish waste, or alfalfa meal, and then activate it with a microbial starter. Traditionally, they used a liquid made from whey molasses and a bit of old compost tea. This provides both the sugars needed for fermentation and the microorganisms to do the work. The mix is moistened until it feels like a wrung-out sponge, then packed tightly into a barrel or clay vessel and sealed from air. Over the next 7 to 10 days, the microbes feast, multiply, and transform the ingredients into a living soil inoculant. The temperature rises slightly but never gets hot enough to kill beneficial life. When you open the lid, the smell should be sweet and sour, like fermented fruit or fresh silage, never rotten or sulfuric. What you're holding at that point isn't just fertilizer, it's a concentrated culture of living soil builders. What makes this fermented activator so effective is, well, the sheer density of microbial life it introduces. In dead soil, the biological network, the fungi, bacteria, protozoa, and nematodes that recycle nutrients, has basically collapsed. When you add this fermented material, you're not just feeding the soil, you're actually reseeding it with billions of microscopic workers. These microbes immediately begin breaking down compacted organic matter, releasing trapped minerals, and rebuilding the soil structure through the sticky glues and exudates they produce. In practice, results come quickly. Within 1 week of application, most gardeners notice that their soil smells earthy again, not sour or dusty. After 2 weeks, water begins soaking in instead of pooling or running off, and within a month you can dig into the ground and see the formation of dark aggregates, the crumbly structure of living soil. This is the stage where worms start to return, because now they have food and oxygen once again. Here's how to make and apply it in your own garden. To make this fermented soil activator, start by mixing 3 buckets of rice bran or wheat bran with 1 bucket of manure or alfalfa meal. Dissolve 2 tablespoons of unsulfured molasses and a cup of old compost tea in 1 liter of warm water. Pour this over your dry mix slowly while stirring until the material holds together but doesn't drip. Once ready, pack it tightly into a plastic bucket or sealed container and press out all the air. Keep it in a shaded place between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius for about a week. So you'll know it's ready when it smells like fresh pickles or cider vinegar. That's really the key sign to look out for. To apply it, just dilute 1 part of the fermented material in 10 parts of non-chlorinated water. Then pour or spray this evenly over your soil surface, and after that, cover it with a thin layer of straw or leaf mulch to help retain moisture. For heavily depleted soil, you'll want to repeat this process once every 2 weeks for about a month. And on smaller garden beds, 1 kilogram of fermented mix is enough to activate around 10 square meters of soil. Once the microbial population stabilizes, you can, reduce applications to once a season just to maintain activity. Unlike bottled microbial inoculants or synthetic fertilizers, this Amish ferment doesn't provide a one-time nutrient hit. Instead, it establishes a living system that continues to regenerate itself. The microbes introduced form mutual relationships with plant roots, creating mycorrhizal networks and solubilizing minerals that were previously locked away. Plants grown in soil treated with this method develop thicker root systems, show better drought tolerance, and often need less external feeding throughout the season. Commercial fertilizers, in contrast, work like an IV drip. They feed the plant directly, but leave the soil weaker over time. The Amish method works like a probiotic. It feeds the soil life that in turn feeds the plant. The historical reason this method survived generations. During the early 1900s, Amish farmers adopted many pre-industrial agricultural techniques brought from Europe, especially from regions that relied on biological soil management. They had no access to synthetic nitrogen, yet their yields remained stable because they relied on these microbial brews to recycle nutrients and keep soil alive. Even today, if you visit an Amish barn, you might find a covered barrel tucked in the corner, bubbling faintly, warm to the touch, and alive with beneficial bacteria. It's part of a self-sustaining loop that has allowed them to farm the same plots of land for over a century without degradation. You can bring your soil back to life with the same ancient method. If your garden soil feels hard, pale, or unresponsive, this Amish ferment is the best place to start. It doesn't matter if you're working with clay, sand, or overworked beds. Within weeks, you'll see the color deepen and the texture loosen. What's truly remarkable is that this isn't expensive or complicated. Every ingredient can be sourced locally, and once you've made one batch, you can keep reculturing it forever by saving a handful of the finished mix to inoculate the next one. So next time you're tempted to buy another expensive soil conditioner, remember the secret hidden in an Amish barn, a fermented blend that doesn't just feed the soil, it revives it. If you found this guide useful, make sure to subscribe to the Soil Doctor channel and share this video with fellow growers. The more we return to these proven, natural methods, the more fertile our soil and our future will become.